Whole another episode of Talk Heavy. Once again, I'm your boy Scoop Burgundy.
It's your boy Taj.
Just call me Rob.
It's Scotty.
It's me.
Hey.
And today we have a very, very special guest, the one and only Ebony Joi in the building, y'all.
Thank y'all.
No problem. Thank you for coming through. And we always like to ask our guests just to ask you, how you feeling today, Ed?
I'm feeling good, actually. It was a good day. I'm about to be 30. I'm turning 30 on Sunday.
Ooh, turn
So
up.
I'm really just like getting into my grown woman 30 shit, you know. So it was a good day. I'm feeling good.
You doing anything for your 30th?
I'm going to Mexico because I'm tired. I'm tired of it. I'm gonna put my little mask on and cover this hair up, and I'm gonna be all right. I'm going. Fuck it.
We out.
Yo, are you working on any new music right now during this time?
So I have been. It's crazy because I took a little hiatus. It was just so much stuff going on. And so I got back into writing at the piano, which I had stopped doing, but that's how I originally started songwriting, was like just sitting there at the piano, writing whatever come out. And so that has like sparked a whole new thing. So this new project that I'm working on is going to be totally different from anything really that I've ever done. And I don't really know if everybody's going to bang with it, but it's making me so happy that I don't care, honestly.
Why do you say people won't bang with it? Is it like a different, do you sound like pop?
The sound is definitely different. Content-wise, if anybody has ever heard my music, y'all know I say what I want to say. So the content will be there, but the sound is completely different.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm really excited about it though.
How has the pandemic like affected your creative process? Like, because you can't really go out, so you're kind of stuck, you know, all the time. So how has that affected your creative process?
It's been a lot because I not only am I an artist, but I do background vocals too. So I tour a lot. I'm always on a plane, always somewhere. And for me, traveling actually sparks my creativity. Being in different places with different people and all that kind of stuff. So being forced to like be here and not do anything has been a lot. It's been a lot. So, and that's one of the reasons why I'm going, because I'm like, I just need to get out of here just to like put my brain in a different physical space. Sometimes for me, being in a different physical space allows me to be in a different mental and creative space. So it's been hard.
Right. Yeah. Speaking of things, being in the music industry is like very difficult. What made you know that you could do it? Like you could work with so many major artists? Like what helped you understand that?
Honestly, I didn't know. So I always sang. My mom is a singer. When I was little, I would always go to like rehearsals with her and studio sessions and stuff. But then I went to Kappa for high school. And Kappa was the first place where I was like, okay, like I could sing, or like y'all could like sing. So that was like my first little baby shutdown. Like, oops, sis, slow down. And so I decided that I wanted to be into production and engineering and all that stuff. So I auditioned and got into Berklee College of Music in Boston. And when I got there, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do production engineering with a minor in business, and that was gonna be my way into music. And then I found a few people there, and they was like, no, like you gonna sing, you gonna do it because you could do it. And I was like, I don't know. And I called my mom because I thought for some reason, I thought she was gonna be upset because business just sounds so much more secure. And so I called her and I was like, Mom, like, I think I really want to sing, like, this is what I want to do. And she was like, okay, like, what are you calling me for? So I ended up not going into that major. And then when I came home, I just was at everything, like every open mic, everything. And then I got my first gig. Ed and Black Stone put me on my first like major gig. I was touring with Bilal before that, not to discredit that because that was an amazing period. But Adam put me on my first major gig, and it was with the Roots. And it was never, I don't know if y'all remember, we used to do the 4th of July thing that was on TV every year.
Yeah.
So I did one of those, and it was like Ed Sheeran and Nicki Minaj and like all these people. And when I tell y'all, you know, Philly got this thing about Dickie, and when you get like your moment, let me tell y'all better start Dickie in, okay? I'm sitting there like, hi, my name is Ebony Joi. Hi, Ebony Joi, nice to meet you. I bake cookies, everybody's part. I knew the soprano, alto, tenor, and the lead part.
Yeah.
Like, when I tell you, I came in there not playing with nobody. Like, there was no way I was walking out of that gig without everybody in the room knowing who I was. And then that was that. But like, I kind of was pushed into it, led into it, I'll say, because it wasn't my intention. But I just was surrounded by some great people that really supported me and lifted me up. And even when I felt like I couldn't do it, made sure that I knew that I could. And yeah, like it kind of just the path just kind of showed up as I was walking.
So where is Ebony Joi going? Like where you gonna be in 2 years?
You know what's crazy? So I don't know. This project that I'm working on now, like I said, is completely different. I don't know if people are gonna like it. To be 100% honest with y'all, and this is the first time I'm really telling anybody this. This may be my last project that I do, like ever.
Why?
Because I just feel like I'm in a different space. Like, I don't know. It's not, I don't have the same passion that I used to have. And I feel like there are so many other great things in me that I don't want to negate those things trying to push for something that is not truly where I'm supposed to be in this moment. I'm a firm believer in changing directions. If you feel like it's time for you to move to a different thing, move to a different thing. You know what I mean? Just like this path created itself in front of me, I believe that the next path will create itself as long as I'm, you know, mentally, spiritually doing the things that I'm supposed to do and staying in tune with everything around me. I feel like it's all gonna kind of, you know, fall together.
So what you looking into doing other than doing music?
So I love cooking. I have a catering company.
She can cook, y'all. I said it before. Say it
before.
So I'm like hustle John. Like I have been hustle girl my whole life. I started my first business. I was 3 years old. My mom took me to the beach. I collected seashells. I came home, knocked on everybody's door. So everybody in my church a seashell for $1 until somebody snitched on me and told my mom that I was knocking on people's doors asking them for money. So I got in trouble. But I always been that girl. And so I have a catering company. I have a branding business. I'm actually currently in Jumpstart Philly. If y'all don't know what Jumpstart is, all of y'all need to go sign up for Jumpstart today. They teach you how to like get into real estate. They'll give you the loan for buying the property and the loan to fix the property. And it's not credit based because they want for us to get in there and fix the stuff in our own neighborhoods instead of letting other people come in. So that's what I've been working on most recently. And then working on trying to get this food truck. And I just got it's a million things.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
I love to hear it. All the entrepreneurship and the ownership. It's beautiful.
I also got a nonprofit. Let me throw that out there real fast called Sankofa.
Yes, yeah.
Help Black people learn all of these things and all that good stuff. So I got a lot. It's a lot of stuff going on.
I was gonna ask you about the nonprofit, because I really do like what you are doing with that. Just tell us a little bit more about that.
So Sankofa means to reach back and get what you forgot to be able to move forward. And I think a lot of times we focus on Black people elevating, but we skip all the times that we were elevated and it was snatched from us. This is not foreign to us. To own our own things, to have our own community, to be self-sufficient is not foreign to us. Yes. It's that every time we achieve it, it gets snatched from us. And so what we're looking to do is have some programs on home ownership, on financial literacy. We had a yoga and meditation class, nutrition classes, things like that will help us not just in business, but in every aspect, just to take back what's ours. Like we are great. And a lot of times I feel like with Black people, we don't like to share things because we feel like if I'm getting up and then I give them the information that I got, and they gonna be on the same level. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
And so that's what we're working on, is just doing some different events to just bring people together and remind people that it's not about a competition. We want to be self-sufficient. We want to be able to work in our own communities, in our own spaces, and be celebrated amongst each other for that.
Do you feel like the upcoming election will help with that also?
You know,
take your time.
Breathe. Before I say what I want to say, I do plan to vote.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Everybody in my house plans to vote. Anybody that I'm associated with plans to vote. Now that that's out the way. No matter who wins, we got to take care of us. Because while I absolutely don't want Trump to get another 4 years, because but even if Joe Biden wins, we still got to take care of us. We got to get back to being self-sufficient. We got to get back to supporting each other. They're not going to do what we think. We're not important. We're not. We've seen that. We've been told that for centuries at this point. We will never be able to maneuver through a system that was not built for us to be successful in. And so, to me, while I do want to get the right people in place that'll be the best for us, my goal is to set up stuff that don't have nothing to do with none of y'all. Y'all go over there and do y'all thing. We gonna come over here and do our thing. And whatever I can do to help on that side, that's what I'm gonna do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I feel that. That's all I've been saying. Like,
That ain't what you be saying.
That is exactly what I'll be saying. What are you talking about? Exactly what I've been saying.
That's not
we gotta do for ourselves.
And I was waiting for you to say that.
We gotta do for ourselves. That's exactly what I've been saying.
No one I've ever heard you say this, man.
Yeah, that's for ourselves.
Well, here's the thing. You spoke about a lot. Let's talk about, we was talking about the country, right? It's been a lot going on in the country. You as an African-American woman, right? How do you feel about this Breonna Taylor situation and what's been going on with the cop being charged only with, essentially, as people would say, the shots that he missed? What are your thoughts? What were your original thoughts, and what are your thoughts now on that whole Breonna Taylor situation?
Honestly, that shit made me so sad. Not just as a Black woman, but as a Black woman who wants to be a parent. All of my nieces and nephews and cousins, and I'm just like, we thought that things would be getting better. And so to have to sit and watch somebody say her life is not important was really it was a lot to take in. And I saw somebody that said something, basically like white walls was more important than a Black life. And that really, when you really stop and think about it, and I mean, it's what I said, the system wasn't set up to protect us. So I don't think any of us honestly thought that anything was going to happen. I'm very curious to see now this juror is requesting to speak out publicly, and they're saying that indictment was never an option that they were given. And so I'm very curious to see how that's going to pan out. But the other thing that always strikes me when a Black woman dies is, instead of us just asking for justice for her because she is a human being, we say, that's somebody's daughter. That's somebody's mother. That's somebody's sister. That's somebody's wife. That's somebody's fiance. She was somebody. It don't gotta be connected to nothing else. She was a human being who did not deserve that. And so that, it's so many emotions. And I posted on my Instagram the other day, it's like, sometimes I be thinking like, damn, do I really want to have a kid? Like, do I really want to raise a child in this? It's a lot. It's a lot. I don't know.
No, that's deep right there.
That's very, and I was actually about to ask you, like, you know, even though you say you kind of pivoting out of the music industry, being while you was in the music industry and as you still are, what is it like dating? Like being in a relationship and like what is you know?
So it's very interesting. So I've had some guys who are like I had a couple guys just be 100% honest with me, like, I can't date you. Like, I think you cool, but like you be out, you be with niggas, I can't do it.
And you know, like somebody I know.
I gotta respect that because you being honest.
Right.
I've had guys try to act like they was totally fine. Like, oh, I'm fine. And then it'll be like, oh, well, I seen you was there with like, well, why you was talking to you taking pictures with, and so it definitely gets tricky. But it's like, if you play your cards right, you can get all kinds of perks. You can get flued out and everything. Listen, okay? If you do it right, you're doing it right.
You talked about them phone calls. What's like the craziest phone calls? You pop up on your TV, you know. I just saw you the other day on The Godfather of Harlem. Shout out to you on that. You know, what's the craziest phone call you got, like while you was on the road or something? Like, what?
Like from a guy?
From a guy or anybody, period. I'll put you on the spot, my bad.
I'm trying to like okay, so I wasn't out, but one time I was dating this guy and I came home and he looked through my contacts and saw that I had got Tank's number. And first of all, I want y'all to understand the level of stalking this had to be for you to notice that I had one more contact.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Sounds like an observant man to me.
Sounds like a man that's observant to me. Hold on. How he end up always in the tees?
Right. Let me tell you something. He heard Tank singing from the phone. He said, no, we ain't
the phone was singing.
Yeah. So he woke me up out of my sleep. Y'all know how y'all see that meme when it be the girl sitting there with the phone? That was him. I was sleeping in bed. He woke me up with my phone and he said, "Did you get anybody's number today?" I was like, "What?" Because first of all, I genuinely forgot. Completely forgot. Like, anybody who know me know I'm not that John. Like, so I wasn't even thinking nothing of it. Child, we got into a whole argument. And the craziest part was, I ain't even get nothing. Like, I ain't even do nothing. Like, I ain't even get no benefit out of it. It was just nothing.
Like,
at that point, I was like, damn, I might should have just went ahead.
Walk on the wild.
Listen, yeah.
So, go ahead. What you gonna say?
No, I was just saying that's.
Oh,
no, I was just saying that's wild. Like that type of situation.
Yeah.
Like it must be like hard to find a date then, because you always surrounded by super successful people, like millionaires in that industry.
But you know what? If you doing what you're supposed to do, you ain't gotta worry about that.
Right.
The problem is when you know your raggedy ass ain't doing what you supposed to do.
Not the raggedy.
Then you start feeling insecure.
That's a fact.
If you was taking care of what you was supposed to be taking care of,
right,
you'd be all right.
You know you live in foul. That's why you're bad.
Listen, my cousin always told me, when a dude start pressing you about something, it's because he's doing it. And so now he feeling a type of way. That conviction get to you. And then you start paying attention, you start getting nervous because that same nigga definitely was cheating on me.
Damn.
Okay, now it's coming out.
And so that's why he was feeling all insecure. Because he knew he was doing stuff he ain't had no business doing.
He was projecting that.
He was projecting that onto me, sis.
Oh, okay, sister.
Well, it seems like it's a little too much feminist going on. And I have to drop some misogynistic in it, and I just gotta ask. Well, since it's so much attack about men, have you ever had to pull up? Did you ever send an insecure text?
Have I ever sent an insecure text? No. I have done some fucked up shit though. And when I say that, I just mean like going through phones and stuff like that. Like what's up?
Yeah.
I'm not that Joan because not to toot my own horn, but I ain't gotta look that far. So I'm not arguing with you about no stuff.
I know that's right. Talk
you want to go do what you want to go do? By all means, my love. Do you? Maybe I'm not the one for you. That's cool. However, don't be in your feelings when you see me and I'm with your friend. Don't be mad.
Yeah. Not the homie.
Let me tell you something. Niggas ready to fight. When me and my more connected boyfriend broke up, the amount of his friends,
child.
The number of his friends, I said, I thought y'all was cool. I was like, nah, we cool, but that ain't my man, and nothing like we not cool like that.
Damn.
Ow.
That's what it is. I mean,
you had to take a sip on that one.
You gotta take a sip.
Yeah.
You ain't dropping enough misogynistic in there. You ain't deterred. It just kept on going.
It did. It was just too much feminism. We got outnumbered today. I didn't have no backup.
No. Because you said that he was projecting. It's a difference when your girl in the room with Trey Songz that she had to crush on her whole life.
That's what I'm saying.
Versus,
listen, but that's what I'm saying. Anybody who knows me knows I'm not that type of girl. I'm not. I live at Broad and Erie. I'm a regular ass chick.
No,
could I have messed with any of them type niggas? Yes, I could have, but that's not my shit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not looking for no nigga that's gonna be flying girls out every time he go on tour and he cash app in the whole city and he got a girl here and a girl there. I'm not looking for that. So if you my dude, you should know that that's not my energy.
Right.
And I'm not gonna argue with you because if we're gonna argue, then I'm gonna give you something for us to argue about.
That's what the parents used to tell you. I'm gonna give you something to cry about.
I'm gonna give you something to argue about. I'm not arguing over nothing.
Came over here talking heavy today.
Yeah, I like the energy. I like the energy.
Came with the right energy today. Right.
There's a lot of hand movement.
Yeah.
No, I do like energy, but I got one question to ask you to make sure I really do like you.
Okay.
Who's the greatest female rapper of all time?
The greatest female rapper of all time?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
There's only one answer that I can accept to know that we're really cool.
See, I don't like to answer questions like this. I even hate when people ask me like who my favorite is because for me, it depends on, it's a lot of factors.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like there's a time and a place for everything. Right. And so it depends on my mood. It depends on what's going on that day. It depends on the season. It depends on what I'm doing before and after I listen to it. Like, I don't really like to get into them kind of conversations because it depends.
I'm gonna give you
artists like, oh, go ahead.
I'm gonna give you a pass, but the answer was Nicki. I'm gonna give you a pass.
I love Nicki. I love Nicki.
No, I was going to ask, not your favorite, but what artists do you typically like draw like your inspiration from? Like from like a young age up into who you became?
So my mom, when I was little, we only listened to two things. Gospel.
I knew it.
And WJJZ. That was it. So very much Fred Hammond, Karen Clark, Kim Burrell, Anita Baker, Tony Braxton,
Deborah Cox,
Sade. That's all I listened to when I was a kid. So it took for me to get older to kind of broaden my own horizons. And then it was like baby steps. So it was like India Ari and like Bill Scott and Erica. You know, it was like baby steps before I got into full, you know, ratchet. And so it's like such a mixture, but all of those people, I love Prince. I love Prince. Like that was one of the celebrities that hit me the worst because I just knew I was going to get to meet him. That shit breaks my heart even thinking about it right now. But I got close one time. I was in LA at a Grammy party and I looked over and he like pranced across the sidewalk. I was like, oh my God. I said, oh my God. That was
he pranced?
It was just like a cute little, just like a.
You said Prince.
Prince when he was looking like this.
Still, but you know he had on his little heel.
Yeah.
And he had on his little suit. And
in true Prince fashion.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. So he did a little bob across the street and I lost it. I did. I ain't even gonna lie. And India. When I met India Ari, I cried real tears. That was the first time I ever did that in my life.
That's dope.
I cried real tears. Cause just like some of her songs, I remember that shit like really getting me through some shit.
Yeah.
And I cried real. I couldn't even I'm like, girl, I'm trying to tell you about these songs. I can't even get myself together. But luckily I was around like other artists on her level who knew me. So they was like, no, like this our girl, like she cool. I was literally like bawling. It was very embarrassing. But yeah.
What was like your favorite place that you toured?
My favorite place that I've been so far is probably Tokyo. Tokyo and Milan. But Tokyo, so I actually got a last minute call. It was like, we need a background singer for Bruno Mars. We need you to fly out. And it might have been like a day and a half or something like that, like real quick. And so I packed up my stuff and my homegirl was on the gig, one of my favorite girls to sing with, Nicole Hurst. And we got there and they only needed us for like one day and we were there for like a week. And so like we went to like a tea ceremony and got dressed up in kimonos and went and had did karaoke and like it was lit. That was one of my most memorable trips. And that's only because we ain't really worked, so I don't know if that really count. But that was my most memorable trip.
Yeah.
So we talked about it a little bit. We got to get back into dating in the industry, right? So it's a story that's been going around between a Tory Lanez and a Meg Thee Stallion. Tory Lanez allegedly shot Meg, and he decided, she came out and told her side of the story on live. He decided to drop an album and tell his side of the story. You, being a woman in the industry, what are your thoughts on this type of situation?
I'm gonna say this. Their particular details aside, I have seen and been the one who has been mishandled, who has been taken advantage of, who, when details come out, is lied about. That shit is a lot. That shit is hard. I think the whole situation is terrible because, one, she wasn't trying to out him. She didn't say anything. She didn't start saying stuff until people started saying stuff and trying to lie and make it seem like she was doing something. And I feel like going back to Black women, unfortunately, when you be trying to hold people down and not say what happened and keep the details because you don't want nobody to get in trouble, it always come back on you. And I feel like that's what she did. She didn't say anything until she had to. And him being a grown-ass adult man, even though he's my size, still a grown-ass man, all he had to do was talk to her or make a if you really didn't do it. If somebody came out right now and they was like, yo, I heard Scoop shot Ed. And everybody was talking about that shit. Would it take you a month and an album to say you didn't do it?
Oh, absolutely not. I'm clearing that up immediately.
That's ridiculous.
I'm like,
if you didn't do it, say you didn't do it.
Right.
But it's a group of people out here who believe Tory ain't do it, you know, or believe in the plausible deniability that Tory didn't do it. How you feel about them people out here?
A good friend of mine, Range the Messenger is his name. He does artist development and all that stuff. Anybody looking for that, call him. His favorite quote is, people are stupid.
That's a good quote. That's a good quote.
It's nothing more, nothing less. People are stupid.
Damn.
We have to stop expecting people to be intelligent. Everybody is not. Common sense ain't common. I'm not arguing with nobody who think that boy ain't shoot her.
All right. So what if all the information didn't come out though?
She talking to you, Todd. I just want to let you know.
Like, we got two sides of a story.
Can I give him a good example? So when Johnny Depp lost all his movies and stuff, he didn't come out right away and say he didn't really do nothing to his wife. He waited a while. She kept on going. He lost everything. He eventually came out, and it turned out she bit off his finger, and she was beating
That's
him.
his analogy too, not mine.
And she was beating him. So he waited, and it turned out that he was telling the truth and she was lying. He didn't come directly out and say it. He didn't come directly out and attack her. And I was like,
but did he go and make a movie about his life story so everybody can see it?
He did.
Or did he do it the way you supposed to do it? You don't make no because
he is an artist.
To make the album. The album was petty and it was tacky. It was very tacky.
Only for
isn't that what artists do?
Wasn't he in a lawsuit?
He's still in a lawsuit.
No, I'm talking about the Johnny Depp thing you're talking about.
He was in a divorce.
Because you can't speak on that in detail when you're dealing with a lawsuit.
Neither can you when you got a gun charge. That's why he didn't talk about it. He said it in the album.
So then why make an album about it?
He made an album because he wanted to express how he didn't do it. He wanted to talk what he could talk about.
It sounds like a man that was hurt after a relationship.
I remember someone saying on this podcast, you can't tell somebody how to deal with their trauma. You can't tell somebody how they should, come out about their trauma. Now, when we said Meg shouldn't have went on live, she should have went to the police department and talked about all this. It was, you can't tell her how to deal with her trauma. But when Tory makes an album,
Tory ain't get shot.
How are you gaslighting this
Tory
hard?
didn't have the trauma. Tory didn't get shot.
But what if he didn't do it? He said,
how are you comparing somebody getting shot to somebody's trauma who got accused of shooting? That's not the same.
Because his whole life could be ruined.
But he didn't get shot. Like, there's a huge difference. To somebody getting shot in both their feet.
An emotional view of that is different than.
I would much rather people be attacking me online than to get shot in both.
I would much rather either one. Because you wouldn't want somebody to ruin your life and you lose everything. Versus you being shot and Meg been out partying ever since.
My problem with this whole situation. My problem with this whole situation is that y'all allowing, like, oh, we don't know all the facts. Oh, y'all had this plausible deniability for Tory, right? But most other situations, when it's involving the woman, y'all don't have the same energy. Y'all don't have the same energy. That's where my problem lies. Like, y'all never have the same energy.
I mean, you can talk about it if you give an example.
Y'all don't ever defend the women like this. I never heard y'all defend women the way that y'all defended Tory right now.
I mean, you are the whole history of talk at this podcast, and you just accuse everybody of everything somebody say.
Right.
I want to know. You automatically go to one side and say, "Oh, I just stand with women." Cool, stand with women. But I still want to know all that.
Wasn't the point. That wasn't the point of what I was saying.
I ain't saying you did.
Okay, I have a question.
All right, hold up. Eb has a question.
Her medical reports show that she was shot. So Tory made this whole album. He never said, "Yo, I didn't shoot her. I seen somebody shoot her, but it wasn't me." So where did the bullet wound come from? If nobody shot her.
Why nobody?
Somebody definitely shot her.
Okay, so why didn't he say it wasn't me, but I know she was shot. He tried to make it seem like she wasn't even shot.
He did. He did.
He said that she was not even shot. So now I can't believe anything you're saying because I can see the medical reports that show she was shot.
He didn't say
you saying that the black and white don't lie.
We
see it.
Don't match.
I got you.
He never said she was never shot. He said, how could you identify me if you got shot from behind?
No. He said something about
it's not hitting the ligaments. I know the line you're talking about. Yes. You got shot and it didn't hit any ligaments or bones.
Yes.
But he didn't say she never got shot.
He alluded to the fact that she was never
got shot. Well, listen. All in all, this is a crazy situation. And I want you to speak on, and you did a little bit, but the protection of Black women, because we just talked about Breonna Taylor and this Tory situation. So what are your thoughts? Once again, I have to bring it back to Black women. And V, I want you to answer this as well. You know what I mean? How do you guys feel in this climate in America right now?
America is rough. It's rough. I will say though, I have been blessed to be around some amazing Black men who make me feel protected and supported and taken care of. Everybody don't have that. I've also unfortunately seen people that I thought was those type of men not be that even for me. And that is a terrifying situation. But it's hard. Like I don't really even think that y'all understand. I seen somebody joking the other day, like, yeah, y'all girls be walking, y'all swear that FaceTime call won't save y'all. That's terrible.
That's crazy.
Do you know how horrible of a feeling? I told y'all I live at Broad and Erie. I'm always out late hosting, drinking, whatever. When I come home and I gotta park down the street from my house and walk not even a half a block, that shit is terrifying. You know what I mean? So it's like, not only do we have to worry about the government and police and everybody else who set up the, not care for us, then to turn around and have to explain things. I hate having to explain to my male friends when something happens and I'm like, yo, y'all don't see how this shit was fucked up? Y'all don't see how she might could feel crazy? Like, that is a horrible, horrible feeling. And I don't always think, and just like there's something that y'all go through that we cannot comprehend, there are a lot of things that we go through that y'all cannot comprehend. Like, I don't know any of my Black female friends who have never been sexually assaulted or something inappropriate has happened to them. Most of the time by a Black man. I don't know. I can't tell you one. That's a horrible feeling. You know what I mean? Like, I've had situations where I would look in a room looking for help and niggas is like they don't see shit because it's a Black man. That is a horrible, horrible, horrible feeling. And so I know we laugh and we joke about stuff, but it's like when you're constantly feeling that and then something real does happen, it's scary. It's scary.
You ever consider using your music to highlight these issues?
I don't think that's my path. And I say that because I am a joy bringer. Even though I will, have these conversations and talk about all this stuff, there's so much negativity. There's so much, and I'm not saying that that's a negative thing, but what makes me happy outside of just music in particular, but as a whole, is I'm a giver and I'm a helper. I want to make you feel better. That's why I love cooking. That's why I love hosting. That's why I love, all the stuff that I do all goes back to like just making you feel better. Right. Because there's so many things. And I think that everybody has their place. And I believe that that's my place. I will always be, willing to help with other people's projects that are into that. But that's not my own. I don't think that's my thing. You see, I get riled up. I would be like, I can't even I don't even think songs will come out right.
Right. V?
You said
Oh, I mean, I agree with everything she said. And I think one of the things that frustrates me, because I've had this conversation now with a few of my like male Black friends, and not in the sense of they were trying to argue with me. They're just trying to understand like, why do Black women keep saying we feel unprotected? And why are people quoting, Malcolm X statement of the Black woman is the most unprotected, person in America? And it's kind of like, it's frustrating because one, I feel like when we say that Black men tend to take that as an attack on them, and it's not. Like, we're not attacking Black men. We're not saying that you're not protecting us. But I mean, if you look at the statistics across this country, Black women are definitely the most unprotected. Like, look at the whole sex trafficking issue. I had a friend in my, like, I just graduated from grad school. One of the girls in my class, mind you, there wasn't that many Black people in my class. So that says a lot that she was the one that picked out. But it was me and another Black girl. She lived in Center City, Philadelphia, like a rich neighborhood, all that type of stuff. Long story short, she found herself almost being kidnapped by sex traffickers. She saw like the white van pop up and they were trying to pull up to like grab her, and she ran. Luckily, when she ran, she was smart enough to go past the police station. The police station saw her, and the people who were going to take her ran off. And so the police took her home and went to go find the truck. But the police officers told her that what they found in these neighborhoods, and a lot of the neighborhoods that are like higher end or have more money, is that these traffickers are attacking Black women specifically in those neighborhoods because they know that if they take them, not that many people are going to look for them. And that's just sad to know. Like, so you're purposely taking suburban Black women out of their homes because you know that if a Black girl gets taken in the suburbs or in a rich area in Center City, nobody's going to be checking for her. Like, that's crazy to me that that's a tactic. Then you look at hospitals. Why is it that Black women die at a significantly higher rate when giving pregnancy than any other race in this country? Any other race, any other group, Black women die the fastest. Then you see interviews with doctors who literally say that they truly believe that Black women are able to handle pain at a higher rate, even though it's scientifically proven that that's not true. Right. So it's like, you just have all of these factors that just show these things. And I don't understand why it's so difficult for people to understand why we feel this way and why Black men constantly feel like we're attacking them when we're saying that. We're not attacking you, we're telling you how we feel. So it's frustrating, to be honest. Like, I don't get why that's so difficult to understand. I don't get why it has to be so combative. That's what frustrates me, is the only people who combat us when we say that are, at least from my experience, have been conservatives and Black men. Those are the only two people who I see being combative towards us. But then when you look at movements for Black men, which, for example, Black Lives Matter started for Black men, who started that? Black women. So it's like, what movements have Black men really started that made a significant change for Black women? But you can go back in history and see different movements, not just Black Lives Matter, but different movements that Black women have started to support Black men. So yeah, it's just frustrating. Like, it's really frustrating, and it takes a real emotional toll on you. Like, even like the whole Breonna Taylor thing and people justifying that, like the Meg Thee Stallion thing, and people saying like, oh, well, she should have just told the cops when it happened. And it's like, you don't understand what it feels like to be in her situation. And that's why so many Black women stood behind her when she said, when the cops asked her what happened, she kept her mouth shut because she was afraid of what the cops were going to do. That's real life. Like,
in the middle of her trauma.
She wasn't gassing that. That's literally how we feel. Regardless if you can relate to it or not, that's how we feel. We feel like we have to protect everybody.
Yep.
So those are my
I would truly like to ask y'all, because it's 4 Black men right here, right? What can we do as Black men? What can we do that you guys won't feel this way? Or what's the step we can take? I'll take this as a teaching moment. You know, y'all can tell us what you want us to do right now.
For me, I gotta say, checking each other.
Okay.
A lot of times y'all let stuff slide because it's your boy. Mm-hmm. You laugh about stuff because that's your man, and he said it, and you know he don't mean nothing by it. don't let that stuff go. If he's saying some stuff to a girl that you know is not cool, he cracking jokes about some shit that you know is not appropriate, check him. Tell him. Because when it come from us, it's a fight. When it come from y'all, it's respected, unfortunately.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I will also say, I think the whole, like, it's one thing when you're trying to have understanding, because of course, as a Black man, you're never going to understand what it's like to be a Black woman. Just like as a Black woman, I'm never going to understand what it's like to be a Black man. I'm not saying all of this to say Black men don't have struggles, because you guys have struggles that you deal with every day that I'm blessed that I don't have to face. However, I just feel like Black women are more supportive of y'all than y'all are of us. And so it's kind of like, just give us that support. Give us that, you know, if I'm talking to you, just hear me out. Don't automatically like make it seem like the other person's the victim when I'm telling you how I feel or how a situation impacted or affected me. Like, you know, it's just kind of just having that same thing that you would do for your homeboy. Because if your homeboy came to you with the situation that I'm coming to you with, have that same reaction. Like, don't automatically go on attack. Don't always feel like when we're saying something or we're complaining that we're talking about you, because we're not.
Can I think something, I have a question. So I know a lot of women go online and say things like men ain't shit. Men ain't, you know, Black men ain't. I've read personally a lot of things disparaging Black men as a whole. And very like,
ain't shit.
Right. And very, very, very generalized and turned things. Now I've heard this before, like, and I hear people say it, women say it all the time, like, yo, if it don't apply to you, you know, let it go. Like, it's not about you. It's about the whole. But at the same time, you wouldn't like a man doing that to you as a woman. Saying
They do it every day.
Hold on. I don't agree with it. I don't agree. I agree with you in certain aspects. I don't agree with that though. That when you generalize, when you overgeneralize about people, you put out a message that all Black men are a certain way. Yeah. And if I did that as a Black man about Black women, you would feel the same way.
As soon as we say y'all, you be like, not y'all.
So I take everything you said in, and I'm not even gonna comment on it because that I don't got a place to comment on. I'm a man. I'm just not going to anyway. But from that, I had to say something about that though, because that's just I don't agree with that.
I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing with you. What I'm saying is that there are many times that we are also generalized and that we also are talked down to and looked down on, and not just by Black men, but by Black men, by white women, by white men, and everybody's talking down and generalizing us. And when I walk in there with my long weave and my long nails and assuming that I don't know shit just because I speak the way I speak, we're generalized every day. I got this little see-through shirt on. Oh, she must be. You don't know that we get that same shit all the time. All the time. It's not right on nobody's side. That's some shit that we as a people just gotta stop doing as a whole. But we feel that just like y'all feel that.
Right. Yeah. And I'm I think we need to be together because we need each other. Yes. Men and women, we need each other. Like we can't make a society happen without each other. So we gotta sometimes we gotta shut the fuck up and listen to what each other is saying.
Yeah. Okay. But look, you said we need to be together. I thought you were shooting your shot. I was about to say,
Scott's getting a little spicy.
I was about to say, you getting a little spicy right now. Come on, brother. But all right. So we got heavy. I want to just switch gears just a little bit. I guess it's a lot. Let's talk about some Black queens, and it's a few verses that went down. I want to know your thoughts on the Brandy Monica versus. Where was you at?
Okay, so can I be 100% honest with y'all?
Let's keep it 100.
I watched 2 rounds and then my 30-year-old ass was in the bed.
I know that's right.
Yeah, my 30, like that's old.
I'm sorry. I didn't watch it.
So you definitely didn't tap into the Patty and Gladys Knight one.
I definitely watched that and got my whole life. Auntie Patty hit the little.
Okay.
I said, go ahead, Auntie.
Yo, you definitely like Patty out here. I just realized that. You definitely like Patty LaBelle out here. Doing the food and you sing.
Listen, next generation, yes. I love me some Auntie Patty. I got to sing with her one time, and it was one of the greatest days of my life. I never got to sing with Gladys, but I love her so much, so I could not miss that. It was good. That was good.
All right. And you're not going to give us a winner on that one?
See, I don't think it's you. I already told you I don't like the I don't
take
like
sides. I got you.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was amazing.
Okay.
Shout out to Active because Active DJ'd on it.
Shout out to Active. Yes, he was in the building spinning. You know what I'm saying? You know, doing this thing, doing what he do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So next up, we got a segment called "Was I Wrong?" And Ev got a story for us. But before we get to that, quick word: you are watching Talk Heavy. That's Talk HVY. You can catch us on all platforms: YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Talk HVY. Look us up. Go to our pages, man. Check out the content. You know what I'm saying? We got some big things on the way. And remember, if y'all want to catch some relationship stuff, go over to Sip and Spill. The podcast is going down. They all holla at your girl V. She always got something going on. And ladies, if you're feeling a little hit, holla at _ just Brit. Now, what you got for us on the Was I Wrong?
Okay, so y'all know I already talked about it. I love food. I love cooking. I love eating. I love talking about food. I love watching people cook food. I love food. Okay. So my homegirl hits me like, yo, I'm having this little cookout come through. I'm like, all right. Now, mind y'all, I don't really do the potluck thing because I already know everybody don't cook well. I don't like going to people's house real hungry, but I was hungry. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to just go. We're going to have a good time. So I get there. She cooking the food. I'm like, okay. I'm watching her. I'm like, okay, this might be all right. So I go in the kitchen. She like decides in the kitchen. I go in the kitchen. I see these string beans. It got meat and potatoes and shit in there. I'm like, oh, this shit about to be smacking. So I'm piling my plate up, bitch. Piling that shit up. So I sit down and I eat a little bite of hot dog. You know, it's a hot dog, so it's good. And I eat something else. I'm like, okay, that's not bad. And I took a big ass fork of them string beans and put it in my mouth. And I said, oh, God, this is disgusting. And so I'm like, okay, what I'm gonna do? So I hear my dog with me. So I start taking the string beans off the plate and feeding them to my dog.
You fed it to the dog.
Because I ain't want to say nothing to her, y'all. Was I wrong for that? I ain't want to hurt her feelings.
No, it was somebody baby.
I mean, it didn't go to waste.
It didn't go to waste. You ain't wrong.
You was wrong.
Oh.
How was she
Should have
wrong?
told the friend you was gonna feed it to the dog.
The dog.
The next time she'd have been like, yo, I'll make it again. It'll be better. She probably put a little bit more seasoning in it next time.
I didn't want to hurt her feelings.
Oh man, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say that you weren't wrong because you spared her feelings.
Right.
You fed the dog. But I've been put in that position and I force feed myself. I'm like, all right, I got either that or you just gotta put it in the trash upside down. Like, oh, that was great.
I put too much on my plate because it looked good.
But that's good. You had the dog with you. You was ready. I like that.
My dog a rider. She was tearing them things up.
I was gonna say you weren't wrong, but then you made the poor puppy have to suffer. So unfortunately, my good sis, I have to say that was wrong. Like that dog did not deserve to have to go through that. He ain't do nothing but mind his business.
He just wanted to come to a party, and next thing you know, he out here eating.
Where we going?
Oh my God, I hope you're not watching this. Sis, if you watching this, I'm sorry. Everything else was good, though. That was the only thing. The rest of it was real good.
That is funny.
Oh, man. Listen, man. We had a great time on the show.
Yes.
always welcome to come back and tell us what else you have going on. Like just take this time to just let the people know what's up with that.
Child, I don't know. Follow me on all my businesses. Order Miss Mary's, Sanko for social, Flavors Apparel. What else I got? Team 10-4, that's the branding site. If y'all looking for branding, anything like that. Yeah, that's it.
Keith, I'm not gonna forget this time. Go ahead. What you do?
Huh?
Go ahead, Keith. She got to say the same. There you go. I ain't gonna forget this time.
He forgot.
So we always say, if you're not talking heavy, what you talking for? And we love how I guess to say it too.
If you not talking heavy,
yes, sir.
What is you even talking for?
Yeah. Thank you, yo.
Thank you. We appreciate you coming through.
Yes.
We're gonna get with you.
Thank y'all.
No problem. So gang, we got one more thing to do. We got a heavy talk, heavy court coming up. And Taj has already been in an argumentative state today. And when Black women were talking about their issues, Scott even he the only one who had a rebuttal. So it seems like you guys have been biting up bits.
Can I say I'm proud of Scotty? Because I actually thought I was going to be the one to say, holy fuck. Y'all
I was shocked that he actually stood up for us out of the whole episode after he was on the other side the whole time.
Like, it's no said it. He said that we get attacked too.
I was like,
this is the thing. You guys have been itching. That's all I'm saying. Y'all been itching to go at something. So here's your chance. Today we got Taj versus Scott in the court. So the subject is, Scott says celebrities could not and should not lead the revolution or the change for us or the charge for social change. And we shouldn't look to them to do so. Taj said, that's malarkey. Now, Keith, got the coin?
Malarkey.
Who's going to pick?
Use the word malarkey.
Malarkey.
That's
you pulled the dictionary out for this episode? That's a Scooby-Doo vocab word.
Yeah,
malarkey.
That is malarkey.
Who won last time? Taj, you won before, right? Scotty never wins. Taj, pick it. Here's the tails.
I never win.
No, Scott actually won last time.
I actually want Scott to go first, though.
It don't matter. Flip the coin. It don't matter if you go first because
Scott pick heads and tails.
Oh,
I picked tails.
Yeah, go ahead. You got it.
You pick
I don't care about that. It's 50-50 regardless.
It's tails.
Oh, I want Scott to go first, though.
Okay, well, let's have at it. V, you got the time?
Yep, y'all ready?
Man. So this conversation is a very long one. You got to start by defining what a leader is in the social movement. Yeah, pause on that, my fault. But you got to decide what is a leader in the social movement, right? A leader is a servant of the people, somebody who is going to put aside their own selfish interests and take upon the people's interests and develop plan of actions, get involved with the people, etc. And I'm thinking about it from the standpoint that celebrities are generally rich people. They're capitalists. They are millionaires, billionaires. They have investments in all different sectors of society. And their interests generally aren't for the interests of the poor, middle class, working class people. So when you're looking at it from that perspective, you have to think about, are these people a servant of the people? And generally speaking, they're not. On the flip side, when you're looking at the person, the masses, they look at celebrities and they think that their own voice is not as powerful as it really is. They believe that a celebrity, because they have money, power, fame, their voice is much more significant than theirs. And they relinquish their own voice to uplift a celebrity's voice. And you see that in the church, you see that occur in politics, you see that occur in a lot of different areas. But when we're talking about Black people in our revolution, we have to revolutionize ourselves first and foremost before we look to a leader, to any type of leader, especially a leader whose vested interest isn't within the people. They didn't become millionaires for no reason. So that's my case.
Ready?
Now you said, could celebrities lead the revolution and lead change? Now I like what you said, Scott. You said we should lead ourselves and we should, lead for change for ourselves. That's cute. That's nice because we should have that within ourselves. But there are a lot of people who get rich and reach back. And I think that's one of the best things you can do, because if you're a celebrity, that means you have a certain level of influence. Am I correct? So Kim Kardashian, for instance, has 189 million followers on Instagram, right? That means every time she posts, at least 189 people is seeing what she's putting out into the world. She has a reality show who has multiple franchises that has spun off, which means what? She has influence. What? She's a multimillionaire. What does that mean? That means resources. You know why? Because your network is your net worth, right? So what did Kim Kardashian do with her net worth? She helped free 17 inmates in 90 days. If that's not reaching back and doing for the people, then I don't know what is. Because if you're going and you're pleading and you're fighting as a rich white woman for prison reform, that's one of the most fucked up things we have in this society, which is our criminal justice system. So you're helping in that way to get these people back out into their families and back out into the world and back out so that they can provide for themselves and their family. If that's not a leader, then I don't know what a leader is. And that's all I gotta say.
Like that first round, guys. A little spicy.
Ready?
I just want to say, first of all, a white woman is not a leader of the Black community in any aspect, in any respect, and never will be. So let's clear that up right away. That's a terrible example. Number one. Number two, I never said rich people or celebrities couldn't help people. They help people, absolutely. Philanthropy is a huge part of our society, so to speak, but they can't lead people. When a leader they have ideologies, established plans of action, established organizations that are pushing every single day for the interest of the people. She uses her influence for her own self-interest more than she does for the interest of the people. And tell me I'm lying. You don't accumulate that much wealth if you're don't have selfish interests. Now, I'm not saying that you can't do that. This is a capitalistic society, but you can't be no leader if you're not for the people. You can't.
Can I get my minute?
Thank you.
You clearly hate rich people, and that's a problem you have to settle with yourself, but that's a conversation for a whole nother day, and it doesn't fit into my minute. But what does fit into my minute is, since you spoke on a white woman, that I said, well, I'm going to bring up a Black man now. His name is Meek Mill. Where is he from? He's from North Philadelphia. What is he leading a charge on and have a standing, real foundation on? Which is prison reform. Why? Because he also had to go through the system himself. And what did he do? He got rich, got a couple rich people together, put some money together, and helped his Black people. He even give out turkeys on Thanksgiving. So if that's not being a leader, then I don't know what a leader is. A leader is somebody who sets an example. I went to jail. I'm out of jail. I met rich people. I use my network. Let's help these people to reach the people in my community. Let's get these people out of jail. Let's get these people back. If that's not leading the charge and helping your community, then I don't know what is. You're putting your network and all your contacts together like the people that own fucking NFL teams. That's leadership. You put your network together and helping people.
We need it.
But you don't like rich people.
Time is up, Todd. Can we get another 30?
No, last week I couldn't get another 30. This week
I'm asking. I'm pleading to the court. You're not the judges. Listen, I'm asking the judges. What's up?
Judges, what do y'all think?
I don't need another 30.
Whoa, sir. Another 30. Now I think Scoop died. But Scott, why do you want another 30? I'll give you another 30. I'll give you another 30. I'm like,
the only reason I want another 30 is to really
I'm back. So
what did you say?
My bad. Y'all froze. What's the question?
Do you think they need another 30? Do you need another 30 from them, or are you good?
Oh man, I'm be honest with you, man. They was doing good.
I don't need it.
Y'all got to decide. Keep what do you say?
I said I don't mind another 30. I'll take another 30.
And what you
I
said?
have my decision already, so I don't feel like I need another 30. But
and I don't need to do it. So Scott can say his 30 though. I'm straight.
Oh.
You know what, man? I'm a side with B.
All right.
You know why? Because Taj did get you 30 last week.
That's because nobody felt like he needed it, and he was being combative. That's why he didn't get his 30.
But since V said she has her decision already,
Okay.
she go, I'll go, and then Keith, you decide. Okay.
Oh, okay, that's fine. So, this was a tough one. First round, I was like, ooh, Scotty got this in the bag. But then Taj came with that rebuttal, man. Said, boop, boop, boop. It's like, ooh, this is good. So since Scotty voted that I debated better, but he agreed with my opponent's opinion, I'm going to do the same. So my vote is for Taj.
You know what? You are a true woman. You have never.
She really is.
I just gotta say this. I
just wanted to make that clear. He said that I was the best debater in the debate, which I thought was the point of the court. But he said he couldn't vote for me because he agreed with my opponent's opinion. So
I need our audience to know that V has never casted a vote based on today's argument. It's always, well, last week.
Well, I remember 2 courts ago.
I remember 2 courts ago you said, D. Yo, that is the epitome of a woman. I love it. I love to see it.
But honestly, I feel like Taj did a real good job with the rebuttal. First round was shaky, but I think Taj brought it back home with the rebuttal. So
okay, so here I go with my vote. First of all, both of you guys are amazing. I would like to go with, well, I'm not going to tell you, I'm going to tell you this. Taj had me a little bit, but then he brought up Kim Kardashian. I was like, that was kind of cool. And I'm like, the stats, I'm like, oh, he got some stats. But then Scott came in talking about something. Yeah, you can play a part. That don't make her out. Look at that. I'm like, oh, man, you're going good. You're going good. So I think Scott stuck to the point a little more about actually leading the charge, because Taj brought up people who are a part and not people who are leading. So I'm gonna have to go with Scott on this one.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. And this is what I'm going to say. We got Mr. I love stats and I love facts. And I ain't hear that nigga say not one stat. All he did was tell us how he feels. And I'm sorry, that don't exist no more. We don't do that segment anymore. So, what I want to say is, my nigga Taj knocked him the hell out. He went boom, came right back on that ass, boy. Because Scotty came in like, the social justice system is very good. And Taj was like, your net worth is your net worth. You put that work in. You meet, give out turkeys and jackets. Scotty ain't tell me not one person who does anything for anybody who ain't got no money. He's like, bro, broke niggas do stuff too. But where the broke niggas that do stuff, Scotty? I ain't hear it. Where was they at, Scotty? Oh, you ain't give it to us. Taj, knock that ass out. And Taj, he was a good man for that. He was a good man for that.
Well, Taj, it's time for that victory speech.
How you feeling? Taj, you came in. Some people might say you knocked him the fuck out. I'm not gonna say that what happened, but you might have won. How do you feel about that?
I mean, honestly, it feels good to win against Scott, of all people, because Scott's on my ass like a cheap suit every week. So, it feels good to just win at least once. It ain't the first time, and it damn sure won't be the last. And with that being said, I'm out.
Well, one last question. You took the approach of using stats and numbers as normally Scotty's tactic, but today he felt like a little off. Do you feel like he wasn't prepared enough for this conversation?
See, I think he underestimated his opponent. I think he knew that Taj, it's not a secret that I don't do as much research as the average Joe. But I did some research today, and God damn it, you won't respect my research. God damn it, it's simple as that.
What you said me gave out turkey.
Whoa. I don't
listen.
That a white woman help free some inmates?
And that was the research? Did I
in the court.
Did I not clean it up? This is my victory speech, right? So what I said, did I start it off with a white woman? Yes, I did. But I ended with a black man who does in not only his community, but a community that I live in.
Multicultural.
From Philly.
So come on now. I identified the situation with myself.
You know what I tell you about book? Taj won. It's three to nothing. So, let me stop.
Nah. Scotty over there playing. You get that ass, Taj. Taj, do you want a different opponent next week? Are you feeling like you want to get back in court for this?
I'll take a little. It depends on what the topic is. We can discuss it. It's up for debate. I'm not taking it off the table.
That's it. Okay. One more thing. I want to show my cousin one more time what you did to him. This was Scotty when you brought out the facts. Because he expected you ain't know you. He only thought you had Kim K. He thought you only had that. And when you hit,
I said, "Oh, I got a black man in the tub."
And that was his. Bam! Damn, bull Scotty.
That was why I wanted the extra 30, so I could really.
I don't know why.
Disprove what he's saying.
All right, we'll talk about it off air.
Listen, man.
What up, Kim K instead of Kanye? He's sitting there like this.
Hey, man.
Well, listen. That wraps up a whole nother episode of Talk Heavy. Once again, I'm your boy Screw Burgundy.
It's your boy Taj.
Just call me, Ruff.
It's Scotty.
And y'all can catch us every week at Tuesday on YouTube. Until next time.